Hi, I'm Janice Law, and I am a member of the Young Ophthalmologist Committee. We have here today Dr. Tamara Fountain, who is an oculoplastics and orbital reconstructive surgeon in northern Chicago. She's also a professor of ophthalmology at Rush University. Dr. Fountain, it was wonderful hearing your talk today at the YO program.
Thanks, Janice.
I'm glad to have you here to be able to interview you so we can share with the members at home or the members who were unable to come to our YO program to learn a little bit more about what you talked about.
Well, I think one of the things I wanted to impart to the audience is what a privilege it is to be a physician. Just about everybody at some point in their lives will be a consumer of healthcare. As physicians, we have a front row seat. We have access to a patient at their most vulnerable. We're allowed to touch them in the most personal of places, to ask the most personal of questions, and we have to be guardians of that privilege. And I think that can sometimes be lost as we get busy and as we get distracted and as the delivery of healthcare gets a little more challenging outside of the clinic lane.
Yeah, that's excellent. You also mentioned that there is no app. There's no app for our smartphone that teaches us compassion and offers the compassion that the patients are looking for from physicians. Tell us what we can do better as young ophthalmologists to relate and connect better to our patients.
I think connection is such a personal thing. I think your personality, being true to yourself, however, whatever makes you comfortable in the way you connect with patients. It could be a hand on a shoulder. It could be some small talk about something going on in their lives. But I think however you do it, it has to involve communication. And good communication involves looking at somebody. It seems like such a simple, easy thing and an understood thing, but increasingly we are sometimes having to turn to our computer. So even if you don't have a scribe and you have to put your own orders in or your own notes in, take a moment to just turn around in the chair, look the patient in the eye. It can take just a few seconds, but they're going to be left with the impression that they were the only thing that you cared about at that moment, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, great, thank you. You also alluded to the fact that sometimes we're going to be faced with challenges and there might need to be a shift in perspective. Tell us a little bit about that.
Life is full of challenges. In fact, you could think of life as a journey where you solve one problem and then you go on to the next problem and you hope that you have a little fun along the way. And a certain amount of ability to handle those punches as they come along will determine a lot about how you function in life and how happy you'll be. And sometimes, most times, you don't have control over the problem. The only thing that you might be able to change is the way you look at it or have some perspective. And something as simple as something my grandmother used to always remind me of is no matter how bad your problem is or how bad a day you're having, there are 10 people out there for every one having a worse day and greater problems than you. And so sometimes your problem doesn't change, it's just the way that you look at your problem. And that has helped me throughout my life, that one small, simple piece of advice.
That's great advice. From Grandma?
From Grandma.
From Grandma, that's great. So, as ophthalmologists, it's a very fulfilling profession. We've talked about how many ophthalmologists are still very happy practicing what we do. What have you learned from being a part of the academy that has helped you in your career?
We all like taking care of patients. That's why we went into the field. And I do enjoy my day-to-day interaction with my patients and the hugs and the reward I get from that. For me, that wasn't enough, quite frankly. And I think that we can derive a lot of our happiness in life from our role and our place in a larger group. I think there is research to confirm that we're sort of our DNA is encoded to work in social groups of about 20 to 30 people or so. So as an ophthalmologist, except for the people in your group, that's a pretty small group. But when you are able and desire to contribute to an institution that oversees all of the care, you can affect many patients at a time by taking part in an institution devoted to that. And in addition to your patients that benefit from the kind of things that the Academy does, as a person, you really can't put the value on the relationships that you make. You go through so many things together, a sense of purpose with each other. It is, as cliched as it sounds, like an extended family that you get to see on a regular basis. But you got your oars in the water, you're all pulling together for the same cause. And there's a lot of reward in that personally.
That's great. Thank you.